Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alayhi afdal as-salatu wa atam at-taslim. So, we make a revision about the articulation points and the last lessons. Then continue, inshallah, our lesson today. We will start, inshallah ta'ala, the tongue, okay, the articulation points of tongue, but before it, make a revision. We take in last lessons points of articulation of the Arabic letters, means by Arabic مخارج الحروف العربية. Okay, مخارج. Okay, we take divisions. The articulation points, it is the place from where a letter is pronounced. Okay, the meaning of articulation point or the meaning of مخرج, this is the place from where a letter is pronounced, making its sound different from the sound of other letters. Okay, take the sound. The meaning of sound is a group of vibrations and waves carried in the air to the human ears. It's a group of vibrations and waves carried in the air to the human ears. The meaning of the letter, it's a sound that is pronounced from a specific articulation point. It's a sound that is pronounced from a specific articulation point. And we take how we can know the articulation point of every letter by making these steps. First, we get the letter, okay, then put before it a letter with any vowel, a, u, e, or p, b, bu, okay, then pronounce the letter. So when the sound is cut, this is the articulation point of this letter. Again, when we know to pronounce, when we know the place which we pronounce the letter from it, we make these steps. First, have a sukun to this letter. This letter should have sukun. And before this letter, any other letter with any vowel, fatha or dhamma or kasra, a, u, e, or p, b, bu, any letter other different about the letter which we know the part or the place which we pronounce this letter from it. Okay, then put the letter before it, then pronounce this letter. Pronounce this letter. When we pronounce this letter and the sound is cut, in this point is the articulation point of this letter. For example, we want to know the articulation point of meme letter. Meme letter, حرف الميم. Okay, we put meme letter with sukun. We put meme letter with sukun. Okay, meme with sukun, and put any letter, for example, ba letter, okay, with any vowel, ba, bi, bu, okay, so put fatha. Then pronounce this letter, bam, bam, okay, bam. The sound is cut in the part or in the place which sound cut on it. This is the part or this is the point which we pronounce this letter of it. Bam. The sound is cut on where place? Lips or tongue with upper the roof, or tongue with teeth. Okay. Bum. Who can tell me?
Also,
Who can tell me?
the 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 definition says that
I want the place which we pronounce by meme letter. The
meme
part,
from the lip,
yeah,
شفة
from the lip. Okay, but the sound is cut on lips. Okay, so the lips is the articulation point for meme letter. That's right. Okay. For example, another example, the letter, the letter. When we take the letter, okay, should the have sukun and put before it another letter. For example, Hamza. Okay, this Hamza take fatha. Pronounce this al, al, al. How can tell me from any place or from any part of your mouth the sound cut on it? Al. You can tell me.
It is the tongue.
The tongue, the tip of tongue with
Yes.
with
With the
upper
upper.
teeth.
Yeah, the above.
Great. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. Okay, so this part, the tip of tongue with the upper teeth, okay, touch the upper teeth. This is the point or the articulation point for the letter. Okay. Okay, now we know the steps which we know the articulation point for every letter by it. Okay, continue. Yeah. This is the way which we know the point of articulation point of any letter by it. If the Quran reader pronounced each letter from its proper articulation point with all of the letter's characteristics and can read each letter probably by itself and in conjunction with other words, he has then achieved high quality in reading the Quran. Okay, this part meaning that when we improve the makharij of every letter or articulation point of every letter and its characteristics, we will inshallah reach to achieve high quality in reading the Quran, inshallah ta'ala. How do humans produce sound? How do humans produce sound? As we exhale, the air excites the lungs and creates an air stream, which makes the vocal cords, do you remember vocal cords? In the larynx vibrate. These vibrations then travel through the air to the human ears, where they are transformed into sounds. Okay. The speech system is divided into 5 major areas. 5 major areas. Do you remember 5 major areas we determined to 28 or 29 letters, to pronounce 28 or 29 letters. These are الجوف, الحلق, اللسان, and الشفتان. So the last one, الخيشوم. Again, الجوف, the empty space which in all the mouth from start the throat and end in the lips. It's the name of jawf, empty space in the mouth. Okay, al-halq means the throat, and al-lisan, the tongue, al-shafatan, the lips, and al-khayshum, the nose. Okay, the cavity on the nose. These are 5 major areas which are divided to in specific articulation points. Okay, some articulation points have more than one spot which produces different sounds. There are 17 different articulation points to pronounce the 28 Arabic letters and the mad letters. Okay, يبقى specific articulation points are 17. Major articulation points or major areas which pronounce it 28 Arabic letters are the major areas are 5. Okay, but specific articulation points 17 different articulation points to pronounce the 28 Arabic letters and the mid letters. For a letter to be pronounced, there has to be a collision of two parts of the speech system. However, this isn't the case for the mid letters, where you will have to create a distance to the colliding parts. The following are the 5 major areas of the speech system. Okay, first, the empty space in the mouth and the throat. This called al-jawf. This called al-jawf. Okay, this makhraj, the empty space in the mouth and the throat, it has one articulation point for the 3 letters of mad. Al-jawf pronounced from it letters of mad or mad letters. Okay, again, the empty space in the mouth, the empty space in the mouth and the throat has one articulation point. Has one articulation point for 3 letters of mad. The second is the throat. It has 3 articulation points for 6 different letters. For 6 different letters. Give attention to this. Al-jawf, the empty space in the mouth, okay, has one articulation point. Okay, for how many letters? For 3 letters. Okay, one major areas or major articulation point, one specific articulation point. How many letters? 3 letters. Okay, called letters of mad or mad letters. Second, the throat, okay, has 3 articulation points, 3 specific for 6 letters. For 6 letters. Okay, the third is the tongue, have 10 specific articulation points for 18 letters. For 18 letters. Okay, number 4 is the 2 lips, have two articulation points. Have two articulation points. Okay. يبقى two lips have two articulation points for four letters. For four letters. The last one, the nasal cavity, it's a large air-filled space above and behind the nose. It in the middle of the face. It is the continuation of both nostril. There is one articulation point, that of the gunna, or nasalization. Okay, gunna or nasalization, that means the sound which come from the nose. Okay, the gunna is the sound which comes from the nose or the nasal cavity. Okay, this is the chart of 5 major areas. The tongue, okay, the nasal cavity, which colored by yellow color, okay, the throat, and this all area which colored by green color. This is the jaw. Which have one specific articulation point for 3 letters, mid letter. Okay, this is the tongue, which have 10 specific articulation point for 18 letters. Okay, this is the nasal cavity, 2 lips, 2 specific articulation point for 4 letters. Okay, this is teeth. This is the upper roof. Okay, and the throat is the last one. This is a chart which describes the major areas. Okay, I explained the last letter, first articulation point, and second al-jawf and al-halq, or the throat. Al-jawf and the throat. The al-jawf, the empty space in the mouth and the throat, is a major area and an articulation point at the same time. Okay, attention to this information. At the same time, the empty space in the mouth and the throat is a major area, and an articulation point at the same time. This articulation point have 3 letters which called mid letters or lengthened. Originate from this general area. These letters are waw sakin preceded by dhamma, ya sakin preceded by kasra, alif preceded by fatha. Okay, this alif mean alif mad, not hamza. Alif without hamza. These 3 mad letters don't have a specific place that they are pronounced from, unlike all the other letters. Their sound is produced from the point of articulation of the previous letter. Okay? When you pronounce the alif, the sound should be rising. Rise to upper, towards to the roof. Okay, if the alif is preceded by a heavy letter, the alif should be heavy, whilst if preceded by a light letter, it will be light. For example, babun. This ba letter is light letter. So the alif letter should be light. Okay, The sound of alif letter is followed by the fatha. The alif of the sound of alif letter, alif mad, followed by يتبع the fatha. It's continue with fatha. It's stretch the sound of fatha. Okay? ba, باب, ba fatha ba, ba fatha alif mad, ba, باب. Okay? This letter, we look at the letter which preceded alif mad. If this letter is light, the sound of alif mad should be light. If this letter is heavy, the sound of alif mad should be heavy. باب طا طال طال طال. Okay, that's clear. When pronouncing the wow, the sound should be straight, neither falling nor rising. The sound is straight. Okay? Not rising, not falling. Not rising to upper, not falling to down. But the sound is straight. In addition to circling of the two lips. Circling the lips. The shape of lips should be as a circle when we pronounce wow. Okay? يفعلون يفعلون. This is wow mad preceded by dhamma. Okay? يفعلون. The sound is come from the throat, so go out the mouth in a straight way. In a straight way. But in the alif, the sound is rising to up. Rising to up. Ba, ba, babun, babun, ta, tala, tala. Okay? You feel the sound when you pronounce alif mad. You feel the sound is go up or rise up to the roof. Okay? But in wow mad, when you pronounce wow mad, the sound is come from inside to outside in a straight way. In a straight. يفعلون. Not rising to upper, not falling in down. Okay, when pronouncing the ya, the sound should be falling. In addition to rising of the middle part of the tongue. The middle part of the tongue should be rising to a roof, but not touch the roof. Not touch the roof. You should attention for this information. When you pronounce yeah, mad, okay, the middle of tongue should be rising to the roof, but not touch the roof. Okay? For example, alim, alim, and the sound is falling to down, falling. Okay? The mad letters are prolonged to harakas if they aren't followed by a hamza or a sukun. This information is unimportant. Okay, the mad should be prolonged to harakas. To harakas. When if they aren't followed by hamza or sukun. Why? Because the mad letters, when followed by hamza or sukun, the prolonged, okay, the time of prolonged is changed. It change. Okay, these are the shape or the pictures which describe the shape of tongue when we pronounce واو مد ألف مد يا مد. ألف مد, look at the tongue when we pronounce ألف مد. Okay, the whole tongue is down, not rise to upper, is down. Okay, down in lower teeth. All the tongue is down and the sound is rising to the roof. Okay, واو مد, look at the lips, the lips as the circle. Okay, the tongue is rising up a little, the tongue is rising up a little. The يا مد, the middle of tongue is rising up to the roof, but not touch the roof, not touch the roof. Okay, look at for the space. Okay, Sausan, you want to ask any question?
عربي
Yeah.
عربي ما بعرف بالانجليزي.
طيب تمام، تفضلي حضرتك، عندك سؤال؟
سؤال، بدي اسجل اسمي بالقاعدة النورانية. الله يبارك فيكي.
طيب حضرتك القاعدة النورانية مع أستاذة مروة
امتى حبيبتي؟ أي وقت؟
بصراحة لا أدري، بس ممكن المشرفات يبلغوا حضرتك بالموعد. هم عموما بينزلوا الإعلان للأستاذة مروة قبل الموعد بدقائق يعني.
الله يبارك فيك. هذا ما بعرفه أنا، هذا الجروب ما بعرف شلون أدخل عليه يعني. هذا لقيت القاعدة النورانية، ما عرفت شلون أسجل اسمي. بسجل اسمي لكن عنكم بالزوم.
غدا حبيبتي حلقات النورانية إن شاء الله.
الله يبارك فيك. وبتعرفي أي ساعة مو روحي؟
من أول الساعة 11 توقيت السعودية إن شاء الله.
الله يبارك فيك وبيحفظك ويبعد عنك الأمراض يا رب.
جميعا يا رب العالمين وإياك، جزاك الله خيرا.
الله يحفظك يا رب. السلام عليكم عيوني.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Let's continue. Okay, يا مد, when we pronounce يا مد, okay, the يا مد, look at the shape of the tongue. The tongue is rise up to the roof in the middle of the tongue. The middle of the tongue is rising up to the roof, okay, but not touch the roof. Not touch
سؤال ثاني.
the roof. اوكي تفضلي حبيبتي.
هذا اللي عم تحكيه هلا شو اسمه التجويد مو بالانجليزي؟
نعم انجليزي، التجويد بالانجليزي.
ما في عربي مو؟
في حلقات كتير عربي في المقرأة. اللهم بارك.
الله يبارك فيك ويحفظك يا رب. تواخذين على القطع الكلام.
لا يا حبيبتي خدي راحتك، ما فيش مشكلة.
الله يحفظك. الله
وإياك
يحفظك
يا رب العالمين وإياك. Okay. These are letters of mad. Okay, and this picture with these pictures which describe the shape of tongue when we pronounce the letters of mad. Okay, let's continue. Common mistakes. We should pay attention to common mistakes when we pronounce the letter of mad. Pronouncing the alif heavy where it should be light. This is wrong. This is wrong. When we have light letters before alif mad, the alif mad should be light, not heavy. When we pronounce the alif heavy where it should be light, this is strong. This is a common mistake. Okay. For example, an-nar, an-nar. Okay, this is right, but wrong way. An-nar, an-nar. This is wrong. But alif mad should follow it by the letter which preceded by it. If this letter which preceded alif mad is light, the sound of alif mad should be light. If the letter which preceded alif mad is heavy, the alif mad should be heavy. النهار النهار, not النهار. That's wrong. النهار, that's wrong. But the right, النهار. Okay. Number 2, pronouncing the alif light where it should be heavy. غائبة غائبة خالدين. Okay, that's the right, but when we pronounce it in a wrong way, خالدين خالدين. No, the alif mad not like غائبة غائبة. No, that's wrong. But the correct خا, this is a heavy letter, غين heavy letter, and خا heavy letter. We should pronounce it in a right way. خا خالدين غائبة. Okay. Number 3, not emphasizing the dhamma on the letter before the waw mad. When pronounced the waw mad, يعملون, not stress strongly on the dhamma which preceded waw mad. يعملوا لو. No, that's wrong. يعملون, not stress about the dhamma. Okay. Not emphasizing the kasra on the letter before the ya mad. نستعي عي. No, that's wrong. But نستعين عين. Okay. Pronounce the waw mad or the ya mad from the nostril with غنة. Yeah. To correct this mistake, pinch your nose and say the mad letter. If the sound becomes muted while so pinched your nose, or if it sounds like one has a cold, it's indeed coming through the nose and it is therefore incorrect. The sound needs to be focused and pronounced through the mouth. يفعلون, the sound is come from the mouth, but not يفعلون. Do you observe the difference between two pronouns? يفعلون. This sound is come from the nose. That's wrong. But the right, يفعلون يفعلون. Okay. To read this حروف المد without غنة, you can put your fingers about your nose when you pronounce the mad of letters, the letters of mad. Okay, when you can feel with any vibration when you pronounce حروف المد, this sound is come from the nose. But when you can't feel any vibration when you pronounce these letters of mad, okay, so this letters is correct, or this pronunciation is correct. Okay. The second area, major area, is the throat. The throat have 3 articulation points, specific articulation points for 6 letters. And we divided the throat to 3 parts. First part is the deepest part of the throat. Deepest part of the throat. This part which nearest to the chest, okay? This is the deepest part of the throat, which you have two letters. There are hamza and ha, hamza and ha. The second is the middle part of the throat, which have ayn and ha, ayn and ha. Three, the third, the closest part of the throat, This is closest to the mouth, which called أدنى الحلق, which have two letters. There are غين and خاء, okay? This is chart of the parts of the throat. The deepest part of the throat, which called أقصى الحلق, which called by Arabic أقصى الحلق, okay? From this part, pronounce two letters. There are hamza and ha. The middle part of the throat, in this part, the middle part of the throat, okay? This part which you pronounce from it ayn and ha, and the last part, the closest part of the throat, which is closest for the mouth, okay? This part nearest for uvula, okay? This uvula or uvula, yeah. This part pronounced from it غين and خاء, okay? These letters are pronounced from the deepest part of the throat, which is the farthest away from the mouth and the closest to the chest. The middle part of the throat, the letters are pronounced from the middle of part of the throat, which lies halfway in between the beginning and the end of the throat, okay? The closest part of the throat, غين and خاء, these letters are pronounced from the closest part of the throat, which is the beginning of the throat or the closest to the mouth. Note the English H is pronounced at the position higher in the throat than the Arabic ha. H, house, home, hat, okay? Each letter in English pronounced at a position higher in the throat than the Arabic ha. The two letters pronounced from the middle of the throat aren't in the English language. Ayn and ha. There is no in the English language. So you need some practice to succeed in pronunciation them correctly. The first step to get used to using this part of the throat, think of the throat sequencing against itself from the middle and try to pronounce the letters from that point. Listening to a Quran reciter and trying to copy his pronunciation will work well, inshallah. Third, you should practice using this part of the throat. غين is pronounced from the area used for gargling. خا is pronounced from an area deeper than the qaf. Okay? This is just a note. Common mistakes: pronouncing the hamza heavy. It should always be light. أصابهم. Okay? Not pronouncing the hamza clearly when stopping on it at the end of a word. السماء. Okay? But this hamza will disappear when we don't stress on it. This is the mistake, okay, or common mistake. Hamza should be the sound of Hamza should be clear. Should be clear. We should stress on Hamza when this Hamza is the end of the word. As-sama. Okay. Pronouncing the ha heavy, it should always be light. Pronouncing the ha heavy, it should always be light. An-nahar. Not pronouncing the ha clearly when it preceded by ha or ha. Jibahuhum, hu, to ha, to ha. وسبحه وسبحه. Okay. Not pronounce the ha clearly when stopping on it at the end of word. فعلوه فعلوه. Pronouncing the ayn as if it is Hamza. Pronouncing the ayn as if it is Hamza. يعملون. The common mistake is يأملون يأملون يألمون يألمون. Okay, this is common mistakes and wrong way, but we should pronounce the ayn sound is clear. يعلمون. Pronounce the ayn heavy, it should always be light. عصوا عصوا. Yeah, this is a common mistakes and clear in a lot of people. Pronouncing the ghain as if it's cough. غيري غا. A lot of people pronounce غا like قا 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 غيري غيري. Okay, that's wrong, but غا غيري غيري مغ. Okay, a lot of people say مغ مغ. Okay, مغ. Confuse the sound of ghain by the sound of qaf. That's wrong. Maghdubi. Okay. Exaggerating the heaviness of the ghain when it has kasra. Min ghil. Pronouncing the kha light, it should always be heavy. Khalidin. No. Khalidin. Also kha like ghain. Okay, when it have kasra, khifatan. And the last one, pronouncing ha as if it's ha. Alhamdu. Okay. Some people pronounce al-ha, alhamdu, not al-ha, alhamdu. Okay, before starting in the tongue, I want to share for you some videos praying about these letters. Okay, start by ha letter. Okay, now you can listen carefully. The screen is clear for all.
حرف الهاء إه
Again,
أه
look at carefully for the shape of tongue and how pronounce the ha letter. And listen it carefully.
حرف الهاء
Okay, the next الهمزة. The tongue not move when we pronounce ha letter and hamza.
حرف الهمزة
Again,
حرف
ha letter. This the sound of ha letter.
حرف
Again, ain letter. Okay, we attention for that. We see 4 letters: hamza, ha, ain, ha. The observation note: that the tongue not move, the tongue not move or not rise when we pronounce these four letters hamza, ha, ain, ha. Why? Because these letters are light, not heavy. Okay, these letters are light, not heavy. Attention to حرف الغين and الخاء. Attention to the shape of these letters.
Oh.
Look,
Oh.
the tongue rise up because these are heavy. This is heavy.
Oh.
Attention to the tongue.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Again,
Oh.
attention to the back of tongue is rise up to the
Oh.
roof. Okay, the tip is on lower teeth. The tip of tongue
Oh.
is on lower teeth. The back of the tongue
Oh.
is rise up to the roof. Attention to this, the shape of tongue when we pronounce heavy
Oh.
letters.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Look,
Oh. 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 حرف الغين.
okay, the last letter is حرف الخاء.
Oh.
Look,
Oh. Oh.
the tip of the tongue on lower teeth. The back of the tongue is rise up to the roof.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh. Oh.
yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
The point of غين is
حرف الخاء.
back.
Oh.
The خاء is in front of غين. Okay,
Oh. 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 Oh.
look at
Oh.
غين is in the back, but خاء is in
حرف
front.
الخاء.
Okay, these are 6 letters of the root. Okay, now inshallah starting our lesson today to for the tongue. We will start in the tongue inshallah. We say
Sorry to interrupt.
wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Can you just tell this letter Ain once more, sir? I know it's middle part of word, but how to say it properly? I mean, from the makhraj.
Excuse me, the sound is lower. I can't hear you carefully. Okay, excuse me, can you tell me again?
So the letter Ain, Al Ain.
Yeah,
Can you show the makhraj once more, Sada, to say it properly? Letter
Ain
Ain.
letter.
Yes, Sada.
You want to
Sometimes when it's with the spoon, it's difficult to say. Letter Ain with spoon.
Ain with spoon?
Yes, Sada.
Yeah, Ain with the spoon. Ah. Okay. عين letter have the quality of توسط or بينية. This عين the characteristics of عين letter توسط or بينية. This mean it the middle between شدة and رخاوة. That mean the sound is start to continue and cut, stopping one time, not continue a lot as رخاوة, not cut the sound as شدة, but start to continue, then cut in the middle between شدة and رخاوة. Okay, like for example, قاف letter is have the characteristics of شدة. When pronounced قاف letter, أق, the sound is cut, not continue. The sound is cut. أق, أك. Okay, these letters قاف and كاف have شدة, have the quality of شدة. But okay, in another method, for example, غاين, okay, أو, this letter have the quality of رخاوة. Okay, this رخاوة, that's meaning pass the sound. Okay, allowed to pass the sound and continue. Pass the sound and continue. Oh, this is different about قاف. The sound is not allowed to continue. Is not allowed to continue. Okay, but the عين letter is between two quality, شدة and رخاوة. It is not like قاف, أق, the sound is cut, is not like غين, the sound is continue, but the sound is start to continue, then in a little time cut. The sound not cut, not allowed to continue. Not cut as شدة, not allowed to continue as رخاوة. Okay, but this letter is between. That's clear. We pronounce it يعملون. That's clear.
نعم جزاك الله خير أستاذة.
وإياك حبيبتي. Okay, we start the tongue. The tongue is a major area which we pronounce from this part or this origin. The tongue, we pronounce 18 letter from it. 18 letter. The tongue is have 10 specific articulation point. The tongue have 10 specific articulation points for 18 letters. For 18 letters. Okay, look at this chart carefully. This chart, the tongue is the deepest part of the tongue, the deepest part of the tongue, or the start of the tongue, okay, or the back of the tongue. These all names, okay. The middle of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, okay. We divided the tongue before this class, in the classes which passed. Divided the tongue to the back of the tongue or the first of the tongue, the deepest part of the tongue, the middle of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, and sides of the tongue or the edge of the tongue. Okay, from every part we will pronounce letters. From every part we will pronounce letters. Okay, okay. This the hard palate, soft palate. Hard palate, soft palate. Soft palate which colored by a purple color, and hard palate which colored by yellow color. And gums, which it is the root of teeth. The root of teeth called gums. Okay. This is the tongue. This is the back of the tongue, or the deepest part of the tongue. Okay. And the middle of the tongue, the tip of the tongue. But this part is the edge or sides of the tongue. The right side and the left side. Okay, this side divided to back side and the front side. Back side and the front side. Or the other name, the edge of the tongue. The edges of the tongue. Okay, the teeth, we will take it in the last class. Okay, in front teeth, the upper front teeth, called the central incisors, canine, second premolar, second molar. Okay, in the upper and right and left, and in the lower at the seam. Okay. There are 10 articulation points for 18 letters. These 10 articulation points are distributed over 4 areas of the tongue: the deepest part of the tongue, the middle of the tongue, the edges, sides of the tongue, the tip of the tongue. Okay, the deepest part of the tongue, we found 2 articulation points in the deepest part of the tongue. Qaf letter is the specific articulation point. Kaf letter is the specific articulation point. These are two articulation points from 10. 2 articulation points from 10. Okay. The middle of the tongue have 1 specific articulation point which contain 3 letters: Jim, Shin, and Ya. The other Ya, not the Ya of Mad, not Ya of Mad, but other Ya. The movement Ya, or the Ya Layina. Okay, this is the Ya which comes from the middle of the tongue. The edges or sides of the tongue, we pronounce from it Dad letter, okay, Lam letter, Dad and Lam. The tip of the tongue, the other letters comes from the tip of the tongue. The roof of the mouth is divided into 2 parts: the hard palate, the top roof area near the teeth, the hard palate which near the teeth, the soft palate, deepest part of the roof near the throat. Okay, the tongue touches the gums or hard palate or the soft palates to produce different letters. Okay, these are areas of the tongue. These are letters and specific. These are letters and these numbers that are specific articulation points. Again, the tongue is one of 5 major areas. Okay, do you remember the 5 major areas? Al-Jawf, the empty space in the mouth. Al-Halq, the throat, which is divided to 3 parts or 3 specific articulation points. Okay, and this is the tongue is the third major areas, which is divided to 10 specific articulation points for 18 letters. Okay, The first specific articulation points is the مخرج of قاف. The مخرج of قاف, this is specific articulation point. Then number 2, كاف is a specific articulation points. Number 3 have 3 letters, جيم, شين, yeah, okay. Number 4, the fourth of specific articulation points is come from it, lam letter. Number 5 for ضاد letter. Number 6 for noon letter. Number 7 for ra letter. Number 8 for 3 letters, ta, dal, ta. Number 9 for 3 letters, sin, zay, sad. And the last one, number 10, is for 3 letters, ta, dal, wa. Okay? This table is clear. Can you replay on me? This table is clear or difficult?
No, it's easy. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We take now, inshallah, two specific articulation point, qaf and kaf. Qaf and kaf, the deepest part of the tongue. Okay, qaf and kaf. Look at carefully for the first specific articulation point in the tongue is qaf letter. Qaf letter. This qaf letter, pronounce it from the deepest part of the tongue when rise up towards the roof and touching the soft palate. Touching the soft palate. Okay, or stress on soft palate. This is the articulation point of qaf. Okay, do you see this point which have waves around it? This point is the point which we pronounce it qaf letter. Okay, okay. Look at the shape of the tongue. The shape of the tongue. The shape of the tongue is rise up towards the soft palate. Okay, and touch it in a strong way. Up, up, up. Okay. Kaf, kaf letter. Kaf letter is the deepest part of the tongue. Rise up towards the roof and touch the soft, the hard palate. Okay, but the correct point is this, on this. On this part. This point which separate by between the soft palate and the hard palate. Okay, this point is the correct point for kaf letter. Scholar said that this point is the correct point for pronounce the kaf letter. Okay, this is the point which separate between the soft palate and hard palate. Qaf letter, the deepest of the tongue, towards to soft palate, rise up towards to soft palate. The kaf letter is the deepest part of the tongue, rise up towards the hard palate, and another opinion for scholars said this is the point which separate between soft palate and hard palate. Okay. The deepest part of the tongue. Qaf. This letter is articulated from the deepest part of the tongue and what lies opposite, which is the roof of the mouth in the area of the soft palate. This is the explanation about the picture. Kaf letter. This letter is articulated from the deepest part of the tongue and what lies opposite, which is the roof of the mouth in the area of the hard palate. This letter is closer to the mouth than qaf. This letter is closer to the mouth than qaf. Common mistakes: changing the qaf to kaf and the kaf to qaf. Example: qalbun, kalbun. Okay. This is mistake is named لحن جلي, clear mistakes. This mistake is change letter by letter is called لحن جلي in the recitation of the Holy Quran. لحن جلي is haram, okay. When we change qaf by kaf, the meaning of two words is different. The meaning of two words is different. But qaf letter means heart. Qaf, qalbun, mean heart. But kaf, kalbun, mean dog. Okay. qalbun, qaf letter, mean heart. Kalbun, mean dog. You see the difference between two meaning of two words. qalbun, kalbun, heart and dog. Okay. If any word in the Holy Quran, the letter changed by other letter and the meaning is changing and the meaning is different, all different. Okay, this is wrong. Pronounce the qaf light when it has kasra. Qaf is heavy letter. When have fatha, dhamma, kasra, all cases the qaf letter is heavy, not light. The common mistakes: pronounce qaf letter light when it has kasra. That's wrong. Al-haqqi, al-haqqi. That's right. Okay. Pronouncing the kaf heavy when it's preceded by a heavy letter. Sa, the heavy letter. Okay. Sadruka, ra, heavy letter, followed by kaf, light letter. Wrong, which we pronounce sadruka, sadruka. No, sadruka, sad, sadru, sadruka, sadruka. Okay. We should attention to heavy letter and light letter, and separated every letter, brackets about every letter, then pronounce the whole word in one. Excessive air whilst pronounce the qaf. قبلك, قبلك. When we pronounce the qaf letter, we should not allow the air pass when we pronounce qaf letter. We should prevent or not allowed to air pass when we pronounce qaf letter. Okay. This is our lesson today, qaf and the kaf letters, the deepest part of the tongue. Okay, and the specific the major areas and the specific articulation points for these major areas and their letters. Qaf and the kaf letter have qualities or have characteristics. Qaf, when we remember, when do you remember the qualities or characteristics of letters with? Can anyone have any question? Okay.
I have question, Ustada.
Okay. اتفضلي.
The points of articulation in for the tongue, how do you name them in Arabic? The deepest part, the middle part, the edges, and
By Arabic, deepest part of the tongue mean by Arabic أقصى اللسان. أقصى اللسان مع ال soft palate forget الحنك الأعلى، الجزء الرخو من الحنك الأعلى. اوكي، أقصى اللسان من أقصى الحنك الأعلى في المنطقة الرخوة. اوكي، القاف قاف deepest part of the tongue that is أقصى اللسان. اوكي، أقصى اللسان مع ما يحاذيه من المنطقة الرخوة، أقصى الحنك الأعلى في المنطقة الرخوة. soft palate by Arabic الحنك الرخو، الحنك الرخو or الحنك الأعلى، المنطقة الرخوة من الحنك الأعلى. This is by Arabic. okay. الكاف كاف letter أقصى اللسان مع ما يحاذيه من النقطة الفاصلة separated point، النقطة الفاصلة between soft palate and hard palate، النقطة الفاصلة بين المنطقة الرخوة والمنطقة الصلبة بالحنك الأعلى. That's clear؟
Yes. جزاك الله خيرا.
وإياك يا رب العالمين. Okay. Do you remember the characteristics of letters which we explained it in the first class of this course? Okay, we will expert the characteristic of Qaf and the Kaf letter. Qaf and the Kaf letter. We talking about these characteristics. We told the characteristics five groups in the characteristics of letters which have an opposite. Okay, hams, al-hams, and its opposite al-jahr. Okay, hams means allowed to pass the air. Hams and jahr, it's related to the air or the breath. Okay, شدة, رخاوة, and بينية or توسط. Okay, this characteristics related to the sound, pass the sound or not pass the sound. Okay, الاستعلاء والاستفال، الإطباق والانفتاح. These four or these two group or four characteristics which related to the tongue, okay. When we say the characteristics of Qaf and the Kaf letters, the Qaf letters, the tongue is like this when we pronounce Qaf letter. Correct? And also when we pronounce kaf letter. When we pronounce we found the ear is pass or not pass?
Not fast.
Not pass. So qaf letter has the quality of jahr. Jahr and hams, related to the ear. Okay? Qaf and the kaf letter shouldn't pass the ear. Ak. The ear is not pass. Okay, so qaf and the kaf, first quality named jahr. Okay. Second quality. The sound is continue or cut when we pronounce qaf and the kaf letter. Ak. The sound is pass, continue, or cut. Cut. Correct. So these letters should have the quality of shidda. Yeah. The tongue, the back of the tongue, or the deepest part of the tongue, is rise up or fallen. Rise up. That means the quality which related to the tongue, istila, istifal. Istila means rising up. The tongue is rising up. So these letters qaf and the kaf should have the quality of istila, rise up the back of the tongue. Okay. The last quality which related to qaf and the kaf letter, the last group, that idbaq and infitah. Idbaq and infitah related to the whole tongue. If the whole tongue rise up to the roof, so these letters have the quality of idbaq. But when the tongue, any part of the tongue is down or fallen, this letter should have the quality of infitah, not idbaq. Idbaq and infitah related to the whole of the tongue, but istila, istifal should related to the back of the tongue only. Okay, who can tell me qaf and the kaf letter have the quality of idbaq or infitah?
انفتاح.
Right. ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. اللهم بارك. انفتاح.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. That's great. So the qualities of these letters, jahr means not allowed to air pass when we pronounce the qaf and the kaf letter. That means the quality of jahr. Okay. Shidda, the sound not pass or not continue when we pronounce qaf and the kaf letter. Istila, that means rise up the back of the tongue when we pronounce qaf and the kaf letter. Infitah, not all the tongue is rising up to the roof. Great. Okay, these are qaf and the kaf letter have 4 qualities, but we found one quality else named قلقلة. قلقلة.
قاف قاف
قاف. قاف should be take قلقلة. قلقلة in قاف only, not كاف. Why? Because the letters of قلقلة, these are قطب جد. قطب جد. 5 letters only which have قلقلة. قاف طاء باء جيم دال. Okay. قاف letter have جهر شدة استعلاء انفتاح قلقلة, but كاف letter have جهر شدة استعلاء انفتاح only. Okay, that's clear? Okay.
This صفة
Do everyone have any question?
You call this الصفات?
Yeah, this is الصفات. صفات الحروف. صفات الحروف.
And so difference between each letter is got some of them has got 6, some has got them 5. So
Yeah, the last صفات الإصمات and إزلاق. Okay, this صفات related to the Arabic language, not in Tajweed language. Okay, but when we say قاف and the كاف letter, okay, إصمات and إزلاق. الإزلاق have فرة من لب. This is the group of letters which related to إزلاق quality. Okay, صفة الإزلاق. So قاف and كاف have الإصمات. الإصمات.
what is mean by ism?
إصمات and إزلاق, this صفات which related to Arabic language and to make توازن. To make
It's not
توازن.
pronouncing the letters, no?
Not related to pronunciation.
Oh,
Not related to pronunciation because not related by the ear or the sound or the tongue, but should make pronunciation of Arabic words is in easy way.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's much clear. Thank you.
Okay, because the word of Arabic is difficult words, but every word in Arabic should have one letter of this farra min lob to make the pronunciation of any word is easy to pronunciation. Okay, this is the صفات الإصمات and الإزلاق. Yeah, this is the useful okay. This is an importance of this quality related only for Arabic language, not a grammar of Arabic language, not the tajweed rules.
This helps. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, now brackets about qaf and the kaf letters. Okay. Okay, this qaf and its vowels, this sign is called fatha, dhamma, kasra, called قاقوقي. قاف فتحة قا، قاف ضمة قو، قاف كسرة قي، قاقوقي، قاقوقي. قاف فتحة ألف مد قا، قاف ضمة واو سكون قو. The name of واو سكون or ألف مد or واو مد واو سكون is the same. Okay, because we know letter of mad they are سكون letters. Okay, قاف فتحة ألف سكون قا. قاف ضمة واو سكون قو. قاف كسرة يا سكون قي. قا قو قي. قاف فتحتين قن. قاف ضمتين قن. قاف كسرتين قن. قن قن قن. قاف سكون أق. قاف سكون أق. okay. قا قو قي. قا قو قي. قا قو قي. قا قو قي. قن قن قن. قن قن قن. أق. okay. The kaf letter. كاف فتحة ك. كاف ضمة كو. كاف كسرة كي. كاكوكي. كاكوكي. كاف فتحة ألف سكون كا. كاف ضمة واو سكون كو. كاف كسرة يا سكون كي. كاكوكي. كاكوكي. كاف فتحتين كن. كاف ضمتين كن. كاف كسرتين كن. كن كن كن. كن كن كن. أك. again. كاف فتحة ك. كاف ضمة كو. كاف كسرة كي. كاكوكي. كاكوكي. كاف فتحة ألف سكون كا. كاف ضمة واو سكون كو. كاف كسرة يا سكون كي. كاكوكي. كاف فتحتين كن. كاف ضمتين كن. كاف كسرتين كن. كن كن كن. كن كن كن. كاف سكون أك. كاف سكون أك. okay. we okay, I'll share the videos of pronunciation.
أخ أق أك أك
okay.
أك
Look
أك
at this point.
أك 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 حرف
again.
أك 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 أت 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 حرف أق
Look at the point of qaf letter. Is difference about difference to kaf letter.
أق
Okay. Look at carefully to the point of qaf letter and kaf letter.
أق 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 حرف القاف أق 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 حرف القاف
Okay. Our lesson today is finished. بفضل الله. اللهم لك الحمد. Anyone have any question?
معلمة, can you send us a copy? Telegram with today's lesson.
The link of Telegram.
Yeah, today's lesson, yeah. The
Okay.
copy of, yeah.
Okay. Inshallah. After ending the class, inshallah, I will download the link of this video or this recording on Telegram and YouTube channels. Inshallah, بأمر الله تعالى. Okay. Sister Nasreen, can download the links, please. Okay. Do you have any question before I leave, because I'm tired? Next class inshallah, for brackets about these letters from حروف المد and الحلق letters and قاف and كاف letters. Inshallah, next class brackets about it. Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خيرا.